It's all too common when you open LinkedIn, you see a lot of people open to work. And the reason for that is layoffs, redundancies, massive corporate restructurings. It's impossible not to feel that low anxiety at the back of your mind. You look around your office and wonder, if the budget axe swings my way, am I protected? Is procurement really safe? So today, I'm exploring which roles may be shielded versus those sitting in the danger zone. So let's get into it.
Welcome to the Procurement Signal, the place for curious supply chain professionals ready to develop. Every week, we dive straight into how modern teams are transforming supplier relationships, elevating vendor management, tackling risk, and driving real sustainability impact. If you are ready to move out of a back office function and into a strategic powerhouse, you are in the right place. This is your signal. Amplify what you can be.
Let's start with the macro picture. When a company faces revenue drops or economic headwinds, the executive leadership, the CEO, the CFO, immediately look for two things. One is immediate cost reduction, and the second is operational protection. Let's look at other departments and where they sit in this situation. Marketing. It's treated as a growth engine when times are good, but the second the market turns, marketing budgets are slashed. What about recruitment and human resources? If the company freezes hiring, you don't need people to hire people, so they're at risk. Big projects requiring capital expenditures. So when times are tough, the business is trying to keep its head over water. Large capex projects are usually cut or delayed, impacting a number of teams. Some of these teams are construction, engineering, project managers, the whole lot. But procurement sits directly on the wallet of the enterprise. Here's the reality: a dollar saved by procurement drops straight to the bottom line. If you, the procurement professional, renegotiates a software contract or optimizes a raw material stream and saves $100,000, that is instant. That's a one to one addition to the company's survival fund. Historically, when an organization initiates the layoff cycle, the actual workload for procurement doesn't decrease, it skyrockets. Executives issue mandates. We need to renegotiate every major contract. We need to audit our top 50 vendors. We need to find 15% cost out across the board. So, fundamentally, procurement as a function, as a department, is safe. But, and this is a massive but, you cannot treat the entire department safe. The corporate world is evolving, especially with the rapid adoption of enterprise AI. We need to look closer: who stays and who goes. So let's break it down into two categories: the safe zones and the danger zone. First, let's look at who is highly safe. If your title involves direct sourcing, meaning you actually buy the raw materials, the components, or the core infrastructure that your company requires to create its products or services, such roles are in high demand. You are an operational necessity. Next, in the safety zone, are roles involved in the vendor lifecycle or the contract lifecycle. So, roles such as supply risk management, vendor management, governance. Look, when the economy gets tough, it's not just your organization feeling the squeeze. Suppliers are feeling it too. Bankruptcies, sudden quality drops, contract disputes, all of these skyrocket when there's a downturn. If you are the person who specializes in the relationship management side, performing risk profiling, contingency planning, you are the corporate bodyguard. Leaders all across will pay a premium to keep such roles around because they prevent single source failures from taking the whole ship down. And finally, in the safe zone are procurement data analyst. Look, teams are shrinking, but the data load is growing. If you can build cost modeling dashboards, clean up dirty vendor data, and show your CFO exactly where the leaks are using modern digital tools, you are untouchable. Now let's pivot to the danger zones. Which roles are at risk? So, first up, tactical buyers. If your daily routine is highly administrative, such as clicking approve on low value purchase orders, doing manual data entry, chasing down shipping receipts, you are in a highly vulnerable position. Autonomous sourcing agents and automated e procurement platforms are scaling at an unprecedented level. Companies are actively using these tools to absorb admin tasks to lower their internal labor costs. And they're doing this all the time. Number two, discretionary category buyers. If you manage categories like corporate travel, luxury perks, internal events, or even certain non essential marketing agencies, your safety is tied directly to those budgets. When the CFO announces a total freeze on corporate travel and offsite events, the category manager assigned to them suddenly has an empty plate. If there is no money to spend, then the company doesn't need a category manager to watch it. However, instead of a layoff and subject to your performance, your head of procurement could redirect you to an alternative category. Number three, capital expenses or capex buys. In a downturn, companies halt any sort of expansion. They stop building new corporate offices, they pause factory extensions, and they defer upgrading heavy machinery. If your entire niche is managing large scale infrastructure, a pause on corporate growth means a pause on your daily utility. So, knowing this, how do you move from the danger zone into the safe zone? Well, it comes down to shifting your focus from the administrative tasks to becoming strategic. Here are some tips to future proof your procurement career. Number one, automate yourself before the company does it. If you realize that a large portion of your day is spent on transactional paperwork, it is time to automate yourself. Go to your manager and say, I want to streamline our purchase order workflow using our ERP's automated features so that maybe I can free up some time, maybe 10 hours a week, to focus on negotiations, contract negotiations. That sentence alone changes how your leader perceives you. You instantly transform from just being a cost center into a value creator. Tip number two, pitch the solution. Don't just complain about the problem. I'll give you an example. Let's just say in your organization, spend data is really hard to get. Things are very messy. There is no taxonomy, things are just all over the place. If you are someone that uses spend data, maybe think of a solution of how you can put things together rather than just going to your manager and saying, I can't work with this. This is a problem. There's no accuracy in the spend data. Your manager already knows that. And they would really appreciate if someone actually fixed it rather than just complain about it. Tip number three, pivot towards risk and sustainability. Volunteer for messy projects. If a critical supplier is showing signs of financial distress, step up and build the mitigation plan. If the company is facing a new ESG requirement, become the internal expert on maybe tracing who your sub tier suppliers are to enhance supply sustainability. Tip number four, rewire your stakeholder relationships. Stop talking about procurement metrics, such as when you meet with the technology or engineering team. Don't talk about cost avoidance or RFP timelines. Talk about their goals. Ask them, what are your biggest project bottlenecks? How can we restructure this vendor contract to help your team deploy the software faster? Protect their budget like it's your own. Instead of just cutting their budget to make procurement look good, help them optimize so that they can reinvest those savings into tools and talent that they actually need. When you save them money that they get to keep and reallocate, you become the hero. The bottom line is this: a corporate downturn is very stressful, but it is also the ultimate proving ground. It is the exact moment where true procurement leaders separate themselves from the crowd. When the operational noise gets loud, you become the signal. Focus on risk mitigation, protect your core supply chains, master your data, and elevate the relationships around you. Thank you for listening to the Procurement Signal. I hope this gave you some clarity, and if so, please share it with a colleague who might be feeling the corporate squeeze at this time. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to The Signal. Visit www.procurementsignal.com for more information. Check out our other videos on our YouTube channel.